Hey, out there.
Hello again.
Great. So being Mr. Popular, you bump into a lot of people. Since you put yourself out there, people trust you. They feel comfortable around you. They feel non-judged. So the question is, in anything in business, it's about reading people, knowing who to trust, who to work with, realizing other people's talents. A lot of it comes naturally and it comes with experience and gut. How would you say there's indicators of what type of people you could or should or not trust?
Got you.
So what would you tell people? How do you know when to trust someone, not to trust someone?
This is a very important topic.
Yeah.
This is a very important topic.
When to trust, how to trust.
When to trust, how to trust. So, the first thing I would say is basically depends on what the cost is in the situation.
Explain.
Meaning, like, how much are they asking of you in this business? For example, let's say a guy who says, hey, I want to get into business with you, but the buy-in is $15,000 and then we'll get moving. So, that would give me a little more of a hesitation. But that aside, if somebody comes over to you and they want to have a conversation, so if it's not too much cost, my initial thing is innocent until proven guilty. Trust everybody, this far. Give them the nice amount of trust. If it comes to like real money, you got to do a little more research. But at the beginning, trust everyone till they prove untrustworthy. If there is more of an ask, right? They need some time put in or money put in or something. The first thing you need to do is know people who know him. Listen to the first words out of their mouth. You say, hey, do you know this guy? You ever hear of Mr. So-and-so? Oh, so-and-so, love him, my favorite. Right there, no matter what else he says, that's already your impression. That doesn't mean you should trust him right away. Do that to 5, 10 people.
First 10 words, due diligence.
And the first sentence out of their mouth is the most important. If they hesitate, you ask him, oh, do you know about this guy? Doesn't matter what he says after that. Oh, he's a nice guy, he's great. If he had done. You know already, people have a semi-negative. That doesn't mean that you can't trust him. This is just, do this with 5, 10 people, and now you make a sort of collage with all those ideas of, 3 of them gave me 7 of them. So you could do more research, but if there's an ask, you ask around, see the first sentence out of people's mouth, that's good. Satan's important. Find out if they have a track record of success, It could be in anything. Let's say there's a chavrusa, a guy, it doesn't even have to be business. A guy wants to learn with you, right? Okay, you want to learn shots right now? Have you had shirim in the past? Oh yeah, I used to learn with a guy. Why'd you stop? He wasn't waking up on time. No, you're not a chavrusa for me. I just moved from out of town, or my chavrusa moved out of town. Okay, you had a year, you were steady, I could work with you. So you have to see their history. Do you have successful businesses under your belt? Do you make money? Are you a schlepper trying to schlep out of me? I don't need you. So trust right away till proven that they're untrustworthy. Ask other people and listen to the first thing out of their mouth. And then lastly, check if there's a track record with these people. That's how I would say. There's also just a feeling. Besides, like you said at the beginning, there is just a feeling. But that comes maybe with all these things.
Now, when it comes to trusting someone, it obviously makes a difference if they're buying from you, if you're partnering with them, or you're buying from them.
Right.
And different levels of trust are more or less required. If someone says, here's $100, give me a painting, there's no need for trust, right?
Right, exactly.
And, if someone's selling to you, and it's a bottle of Coca-Cola, it's pretty straightforward. You're really trusting Coca-Cola, not them.
Right.
Right, unless the guy's real, they'll give you expired Coke. This could be some other, but there's definitely a spectrum of when or how to trust someone.
For sure.
Correct?
For sure. 100%.
Because many times, many people I've partnered with, I've done research on them, and certain people even found me, you can't trust him, he's this, he's that, and I've done very, very well with them, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Many of the people I've made a lot of money with people who said, you can't trust them.
Right.
So, with all that, you have to keep in perspective, everyone has a different experience with
100%.
different people.
100%.
People who are not trustworthy are sometimes only with people they feel they could
take a little advantage. Which is a little, I personally wouldn't want to be in business with somebody whose ethics is that if I could roll over you and you can't stop me, that's a personal thing. But again, everybody, and that's exactly what you're saying. Some people will say you can't do business with this guy. Maybe somebody else could. Everybody's got a shidduch with everybody else. Yeah,
Tolerance and shidduch. Synergy.
100%. Well, 100%. Also, what skills you bring, they bring, all that.
Right, but the key difference, you have to know what position, level of trust you need.
Right.
Right? If someone gives you $100 for a painting, you don't have to trust them, right? You just want to check the bills is real and that's it.
Right.
Correct?
100%. 100%. That's what we started this with. That if it's small interactions with less of a cost, then just give them the trust. Right. When it gets of a bigger thing, partnering with them, who's going to teach your kid, who's going to be mechanech them, all these like bigger things. What house are you moving into? These are things that you got to put more research into and see the background of these people.
Because I see people, they mix up trust with anything. Oh, I don't want to deal with them all. I don't want to buy them. I don't want to sell them. I don't want to partner anything. No. Really, I think you have to differentiate and evaluate.
100%. 100%.
And obviously, also the more, this is something my other partner says, the more people don't want to deal with a certain individual, the more the opportunity is. Because you're not really competing.
Interesting. That's interesting.
If you're protected, obviously.
Right, exactly.
Right?
But high risk, high reward. That's how this world works.
Correct.
And again, you have to know your own appetite and what you're ready for. But when you're getting first in the game, I'd say take it slow. Take it more with people with a history, with legitimacy.
Right, but it's also people easier to deal with. Let's say not trust, just say difficult, easier clients. The harder clients are often the best because you're not competing. You're dumped it.
Could be. There is also a variety.
They have to pay a premium because no one wants to deal with them.
Correct, and you have to know your industry. But for the most part, there is something, the 80-20 rule. Are you familiar? I'm sure most of the viewers are familiar with the 80-20 rule, where you have...
Assume not.
Assume not. So let's explain the 80-20. So if you have 80% of your profits coming in, and you notice that most of my money coming in is only coming from 20% of the products I sell or the people I deal with or whatever, a lot of times you'll see that this guy, he's such a nudnik. He's taking up 80% of my time, and he's only giving me 20% of my profits. I cut that guy. Eliminate. If you see somebody who is a pleasure to deal with, and he brings in money, that's 80% of my business come from 20, those are halavais. And then there's everything in between. If a guy is so difficult, but he brings me in a ton of money, so then you have to juggle. How tight am I that I need this? But if you do the 80-20 rule, you usually will see some people are worth it, some people are not worth it.
So in summary, who to trust?
Who to trust?
Referral, right away. First 10 words.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing is question them.
Mm-hmm. See their history, see like what their history was.
Right, and then...
The third, really, the first was just
due diligence.
The due diligence of asking around is... Man, we've got a little information, but that's about trust.
Boom. Thanks so much. That's episode number 2 with Mr. Popular, Alter Deitsch, and Moshe.
That was 2, not Victory. I think Victory's cheesy.